Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Hakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect and those Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, all right, to the four corners of this earth that look like the other heathen nations. Okay? This is Ya'at Tazapanya of the Sons of Jacob camp out here in Colorado Springs. And the topic or the lesson, we back at it again with another lesson, right? To feed the sheep. This is going to be called Planned Economy Collapse to Usher in the Digital All. All right, let me know if y'all hear me on the comments. In the video on the comment board. All right. So what we're going to get into is I had a quick video that I've watched. All right, because in the midst of a supply chain collapse, in the midst of uproars of the people, all right, in the midst of draconian measures and mandates, okay, in the midst of World War III brewing, all right, we are seeing a lot of prophecies unfolding. Okay, this video that I'm about to play is in regards to the bill that was passed through the Senate. Joe Biden, sleepy, creepy Jim Crow Joe, all right, he signed the bill to raise the debt ceiling right before the government shutdown, right? And when he was walking with Nancy Schmancy Pelosi, they did some type of Masonic handshake, and then right when they asked him, when is it going to be done, in reference to when he's going to sign it, he said, we're going to get it done. No, Salakia, I got this thing. I might as well just hold this right here. Okay. When we're going to get it done, whether it takes 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 months, all right, in code for the number of man, which is the number of the beast. Okay, so we're gonna get into a good lesson. Bear with me. We're gonna get through it, and we're just gonna let this thing talk, and then we're gonna get into some scriptures. All right. Mind you, this is of the financial expert Robert Kiyosaki. Now, I've read Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's the author. All right, Moabite. Okay, and he is basically predicting what's coming to happen. Okay, because everybody that is multimillionaires, they're in a certain type of circle, and they talk about these things. So, for no further ado, we're gonna get into it.
Calamity, as she calls it. Is this what you think will trigger this October crash?
Well, I think it's already been triggered personally. The S&P 500 is really the S&P 7, and it's being held up by Treasury Secretary Yellen and Powell. So there's no correlation between the economy and what Yellen and Powell are doing. Now, I said one more thing, is that I'm a little strange in that I like crashes. So this next crash is going to be really, really good, but it'll bring down gold, silver, Bitcoin, stock.
So you see that? He said that this next crash is going to bring down gold, silver, Bitcoin, and stocks. Okay? Now, he's saying really, really good because he is joining hand in hand with Esau. Now we're gonna get a quick script. All right, thinking that he will be of the elite status and still, because he goes on to say he's a pure capitalist. All right, when you go into capitalism, it's literally you bringing yourself up by pushing people down. Okay, so watch this. Quick precept. So we're gonna go to the book of Zephaniah, right? Chapter 1, verse 18. Okay, it goes on to say, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Right? So we know that that fire of his jealousy is talking about them ICBMs, Babylon the Great being destroyed by nuclear fire. That's why it says speedy riddance, because doesn't it say in Revelation that in 1 hour he will destroy this place, right? So now let's get back to the video. All right. So just like I said, gold and silver, of course, is not going to be able to save you in World War III. You know, America being destroyed. All right, we back on. All right, so he goes on to say it'll bring down Bitcoin and stocks. There's going to be a stock market crash.
I'm optimistic, and I'm very optimistic on gold, silver, and Bitcoin, not on stocks.
And notice how the YouTube is be awakened, but you only can be awakened if Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah quickens your spirit and puts the Holy Spirit into you. Because a lot of these people are optimistic, all right, of this stock market, which is eventually going to be destroyed, because the kingdom will be translated, like it says in Sirach, unto the elect of Israel. All right, when Yahweh Shai with the angels comes and destroys this place. Okay.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is now warning that the nation could hit the debt limit by October.
You see, a go into default, meaning that, all right, will not be retrievable. International banking families already know this is why this is planned. This is why on your coast, on the West Coast, you got all these cargo ships. They are purposely starving Americans out. All right, which is going to help usher in Egyptian versus Egyptian, like it says in the book of Isaiah. All right, and also in the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15, which we're going to get into. All right, Lord willing. All right, for people shall spoil their neighbors' houses because of lack of bread. Okay, it's one thing if you stopping people to go into, let's say, a store without a passport. right? We know what type of passport we talking about, right? But it's another thing, all right, if nobody got food to eat, all right? That's when that animal beast instinct.
Days to either raise or suspend the debt ceiling. And if you don't do that, America could face an economic crisis. Now, those comments come after the Senate yesterday failed to advance a bill that would have continued to fund the government through December 3rd and raise the debt ceiling through December 2022.
What setbacks will a default on debt cost American households?
Well, I think it would be catastrophic for the economy and for individual families. It would be disastrous for the American economy, for global financial markets.
For global financial markets, because all currency, all right, is backed upon the petrodollar. Goes down in effect, be playing around, be awakened, all right, like it says in Romans chapter 13, okay.
And for millions of families and workers, whose financial security would be jeopardized by delayed payments. Nearly 50 million seniors could stop receiving Social Security payments or see them delayed. Our troops would not know when they would get their next paycheck.
You hold on. Okay, let's just say you have a grandmother, all right, and the only way she gets certain foods or medication is through her social security checks. All right, you, whether you know 2/3 people not knowing what's going on, you're gonna do whatever it can to keep, a family member alive, right? But the big thing why I stopped at the troops, remember half of the troops already, Navy SEALs or generals, is resigning because of these draconian upshot. All right. So now the remainder, the remnant of the troops, what do you think they're gonna do when they not getting that paycheck when the shit hit the fan? Then troops stationed.
On the lead.
The reason Yellen and Powell are scrambling is because they've expanded M2, so everybody thinks it's going to be inflation. But the velocity of money is plummeting. People are not spending. So they pump all this money in, prices go up. Meanwhile, the Asians are catching up now that the ports are finally open. So it is transitory inflation. But the problem is we're stacked with this massive debt, and all it's done is bump up the stock market and real estate market. The money has not gone into the economy. That's the sad part. So the rich get richer, but the poor and middle class are getting poorer. It's tragic what's happening today.
See, so the funny thing is, he was just saying earlier that he likes stock markets because that's a big, easy time to get rich. But then he's acknowledging the big class gap, all right, of that rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because he feels like he's going to continue in that status going on, because that goes back to Psalms 83. All right, all these nations, all right, that want to keep Israel's name out of remembrance are in league with each other, man. All right, with Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which is the devil that the Bible speaks, is at the top. All right, and they think that they're going to completely bring in that new world order, man. All right.
I don't know what it'll exactly be, but you can't keep printing fake money.
So that even them know that is fake, man. Because real money, according to the Bible, is gold and silver. All right. And even that, like we just brought up, is not going to save you in the day of the wrath of Yahweh Basham Yahushai.
That's M2. And the velocity of money keeps dropping, but the debt keeps going up. So technology is going to wipe out more jobs. Like, who's going to fly? Who's going to stay in a hotel? I can now do more seminars in a day. I did one the other day. I did a recording in Europe. I did one in the States, and then that evening I did one in Singapore. So meanwhile, they're trying to keep these dead industries afloat, and somebody's going to say, hey, it cannot go much further, and it's coming this October.
And he's talking about those Rothschilds, all right, those Rockefellers, them Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, the international banking families, the Amalekites, man, all right, Esau, all right, because they're planning this collapse, all right, which they're calling that Great Reset, in order to bring about their new world order, all right, even though it's not going to come to pass, obviously, according to the scriptures, all right, but they're trying to make everyone slaves, and we're going to get to the point, the crux of the matter, on how they're going to do that, all right, using the Holy Scriptures.
Because the velocity of money is now too slow. Savings are going up, spending's going down. This is going to be the biggest crash in world history. We have never had this much debt pumped up. Debt is the biggest problem of all, but that's called M2, money supply. And the debt to GDP ratio is out of sight. So when it comes down, which it brings everything down with it, that's when I'm going to be buying more gold, silver, and Bitcoin.
Yeah, because see, he's the Most High got a strong delusion on him. All right, because he thinks that in continually investing, that's going to save him in them times when shit hit the fan. And we just read, like we said in Zephaniah. All right.
The reason I don't care for Yellen or Powell, because they're both Marxist. And when I say that, I get nailed. But I will read you a quote from Lenin. Okay, this is Vladimir. He says, the establishment of a central bank, this is a direct quote, is 90% of a communizing of a nation. That's Yellen and Powell. The best way to destroy the capitalist system is to debauch the currency. They're actually Marxist organizations.
Right. So if y'all research Hegelian dialectic, which is thesis, antithesis, synthesis, or cause, reaction, effect. All right. Just like how I said Bitcoin was the antithesis to the falling capitalistic American economy, all right, which is to bring about, all right, the one world currency, the cashless society, the new world order, all right, which is the same thing with capitalism, all right, being the cause, all right, and how capitalism was created, the big gap, social gap. The thesis was communism, all right, in order to bring the same outcome, which is the new world order, control of everything, all right.
I'd say it's desperate people doing desperate things. And as you and I know, the stock market, like I said, it's not the S&P 500, it's the S&P 7. And the separation between the stock market and the economy has never been worse. I'm just disturbed because the money is staying only in the investor market. Every time the Fed does something, the Treasury does something, only guys like me get richer. But the money is not going into the real economy. They're not investing. They haven't invested for years in plant and equipment. So we have massive, massive unemployment and underemployment. And that's why I quote Lenin, the establishment of a central bank is 90% of communism. And the best way to destroy a capitalist system is to debauch the currency. I'm a pure capitalist. When markets crash, it's the best time to get rich. So I'm getting very excited about a crash coming because the better stocks will come up.
See, the hopeful elect is excited of a crash coming because that means that prophecy is unfolding, man. Because we're trying to get out of here. All right. Only a fucking heathen would think that, oh, investing in something that is going to crash because he thinks that's the same type of system in a way that only benefits him, because that's what capitalist is all about. Being a part of something, investing in something, having insider knowledge that's going to help you to and benefit you. If everybody was rich in a capitalistic society, you're not rich. All right.
Available. Unfortunately, there would be massive social unrest.
You see that? Let's play that back. So now we get into the point. We only got a minute later. Y'all hold on. All right. This is where it's gonna get good. This is where it's gonna get good.
Excited about a crash coming because the better stocks will come available. Unfortunately, there would be massive social unrest.
Unfortunately, there will be massive social unrest. All right. So now let's get that real quick. All right. And for the brothers, all right, that know the scriptures, they already know what I'm bringing up. Okay. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, kings and princes is referring to the authoritative entities in their country. Okay, so this sedition is going to be caused by a collapse, man. We are already seeing this right now with these draconian measures, all right, and and that thing, right? These mandates, right? But people going to be invading one another. Why? Because they hungry, man. All right. Let's continue. Look, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Martial law. Checkpoints. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but he shall destroy the houses with the sword. All right, what's the modern day sword, right? A gun. And spoil their goods. Why? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. What is going to bring great tribulation? All right. The biggest crash expected. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen in October. I'm just saying Yahweh Shah told us to watch and pray. All right. Because we have to know the season. It also says in Second Esdras chapter 9 to measure the time thou diligently, man. And we measure it with the Bible being our measuring stick. Con, let's get back into it. Here's the good part.
That's what I'm more concerned about, because we have not reinvested. The Fed and the Treasury have only invested in the investor class.
Right. So those, that worship the image of the beast, man. All right. And that's why he's concerned, because y'all going to be target number one. All right.
They haven't invested in the working class. And the working class is without jobs, without pay, without this. Their 401ks are going to get toasted. And that's why I'm more saying.
And y'all going to get toasted by the missiles. All right. Thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All y'all rich motherfuckers, man, that have been building their houses, all right, by deceit, all right, and by blood.
I don't like what's happening. I'm more afraid of the Fed coin than anything else.
You see what he just said? Fed coin. What's the Fed coin? Central bank digital currencies. If one has been aware of the financial news and has that inner vision of what's to come, this cashless society, they're trying to, that's why he said Bitcoin going to crash, because the Fed coin is going to be centralized and regulated. All right. They had people investing while they're the ones making the bread through the Bitcoin. All right. And then they're going to crash the Bitcoin. I bet you people that have invested in cryptocurrencies don't even know who invented the blockchain technology, the algorithms, man. All right. Because it's come out that the NSA has done that, man. Satoshi, no, man, never is. That was just a puppet name. All right, so people won't fully understand how all of a sudden the blueprint of how to make a deregulated system algorithm on the internet in order to create some type of currency that is really ain't back, is just numbers on the screen. Let's continue. We're almost done.
It'll totally be central control of the economy. And
you see, so the Fed coin, right, will be totally be the control of the economy and our lives and our lives. We're going to get into that. All right. Total control of the economy and our lives. If you have total control over people's lives, what is that? What are they to the people that control the scriptures?
Lives. They'll monitor everything we do.
They'll monitor. How are you going to monitor everything that the so-called citizens do, and how, right? So how they going to monitor everything? We're going to get into it.
So the Fed coin, what happened in China when they just denounced Bitcoin, is I think they want to take away all of our rights with gold, silver, and crypto and go back to full centralized control. Just look at it again. Janet Yellen came from the Fed. So does this guy Powell. It's now the Treasury and the Fed are one centralized government.
Doesn't that sound like one centralized government? New World Order.
I would suggest you study your history.
You see, the Israelites study history, all right? Because like the apostles and elders say of Great Millstone, if you don't study the history, you won't understand the mystery. You heard?
Yeah. Just look at the borders. I mean, in Arizona, we had 34,000 undocumented immigrants cross our border. Why are they doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Fascism, that is not just healthcare workers like losing their jobs, military officers are losing their jobs.
That's pretty much it. All right. So now we're going to get into these scriptures. Okay. And the inspiration of this, all right, was the fact that I was talking to a old, college colleague or what's the name, acquaintance, and he came into the truth. He's new into the truth, maybe about a year or less. He's not teaching. He's not making no videos. All right. He's following IURC and Watchman for Israel, Adam Abbott. All right. Now we know they don't know about, all right, the charagma. All right. So I wanted to bring out this first because that's why you see what I'm saying. It gets you tight, but you understand it's necessary. It's a necessary evil. All right. But this is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers, see, among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies. Right. A damnable heresy is saying, oh, the MOTB is what's the name? An embargo is fucking a white woman. It's what else? All type of, it's a spiritual mark. It's the Caesar Borgia Christianity, doing Christianity. Not, come on, man. Even denying the Lord Yahweh Shai that bought them, because remember Romans 9, all right, who are the Israelites who pertain to the adoption, right? So we was bought with a price, the blood of Yahweh Shai, all right? And see, denying the law because the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, man. So if you're saying something is not going to come or you're taken away from the scripture, all right, you're going to bring upon yourself, swift destruction. Okay? Next one, 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but what? But try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High. How do you do that? 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved. Okay? Because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So it's not just because you're an Israelite, man. You have to know what's to come, man, in a vision. Okay? Because there are more false prophets out there than there are true prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, even if they're using the name Yahweh Shai. Okay? So now we're going to get into it. All right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, all right, to receive. Notice he calls it all, not half, not just America, all, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. Didn't it just say in the video, all right, that one cannot, they're going to be tracking your spending habits, man, all right? And what they're going to do if you receive that mark, they're able to turn it off and on. All right. Save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. See, now the one of the points is how you going to know the mark, the MOTB, all right, the charagma, if you don't know who the beast is. All right. Now the beast is that ancient Roman Empire, revived, NATO and the EU, with America heading it, Babylon the Great. All right. The image is that system, that military and political system of old Rome. All right. Now, one would have to study the culture and how Rome came about and fell to fully understand where we in today. Okay. Because they tried to make everybody put in subjection unto their civilization. And in modern day times, that is going to be done by a social tracking system, all right, regarded to, as we know now, as that digital oil, all right, that chip that is in your right hand or in your forehead, all right. Research Neuralink, all right, that's the forehead, all right. Research RFID technology, radio frequency identification, right? So we're going to continue to go. Look at this. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly, you see that? Suddenly, this is going to happen. All right. This is why we're so adamant and watching, because we don't want to get caught like a thief in the night. Because if you knew a thief was coming, you'll be awake. You'll be watching out so you don't get caught asleep. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. I keep hearing that in at a month at most, because of them purposely locking down the supply chain. All right, food at your markets is going to be found empty, fulfilling this prophecy suddenly. That's why it's peace and safety right now, but sudden destruction cometh upon them like a woman in travail, like it says in the book of 2nd Thessalonians. Okay? So now Back here, Revelation 13:18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, right? We already said what the beast is. All right, NATO/EU that revived ancient Roman Empire, right? For it is the number of a man, all right. So who runs this play? Esau, Edom, and his number is 603 score and six, right? 666, right? Didn't Joe Biden just say when he was talking about the debt ceiling? All right, and the paparazzi asked him what, or the fake news, the mainstream media, when is it going to stop? When is it going to end? Because everybody's hearing about this going into default in the middle of this big satanic month, sacrifice month. He said we're going to get it done, no matter if it's 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 months, man. He's letting you know they talking cold, man. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that we're gonna go into, all right, the number. Let's get it. All right. Keezy stigma. All right. Let's see if we can find it real quick. What's the name? As letters and across. Use as numbers. Let's see here. Bear with me. Bear with me. Matter of fact, let's do this. Stigma in Greek, right? The etymology. We're gonna do etymology. Etymology of the stigma. Con. So notice right here, Greek stigma. Look at this. To English is stick, right? A mark made by a pointed instrument, a dot. All right. Oh man, you can't make this shit up. Late 16th century, denoting a mark made by pricking or branding. Well, if you were a so-called Kappa, Sigma, Iota, the Divine Nine, right? Don't they brand you, and you're a part of that fraternity for life? What did they do to our forefathers, man? All right, they branded them. Why? To make them a slave forever, and they can always denote who you belong to. Via Latin, Greek stigma, a mark made by a pointed instrument. Isn't a syringe an instrument? A dot. Don't, if you pierce anything on your body, it's going to leave a mark, M-A-R-K, a dot on you. Don't they say, that nanotech, not nano dots, right? So this jump shot is the lock, while the charagma, all right, is the key to open everything up. Wait till this 5G really get fully turned on, man. All right. So that was stigma, that last six in the three score and six, 660 and six, right? So let's look up. You see that MRAK, charagma, G, 5,480. All right. A stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Christ or Messiah. Now we know that there isn't no antichrist. There are many antichrist or anti-anointed. All right, because Christ just goes back to Christos. All right, which means anointed. All right, which basically is translated from the Hebrew mashayak. All right, a mark branded upon horses, a thing carved. You see that? Sculpture, graven work. Okay, so this isn't no spiritual. This is literally carved in you, man. Look, sculptured figure. All right, stamp as a badge of servitude. Okay, now we're gonna keep going. Okay, this is how the point is going to be established. All right, this is our book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven? Now, heaven is rulership. All right. Oh, Lucifer. Lucifer is only mentioned one time in the scriptures. All right. And Lucifer is Latin for light bearer. Okay. And then it says in the scripture that even Satan has transformed himself into an angel of light. Now, Esau, Edom, which was created for destruction, all right, is the devil that the Bible speaks of, the deceiver, the false accuser. All right. So when it say fallen from heaven, it's talking about, which we're going to get into, a man, Esau, Edom, and how he's fell from rulership. Okay. Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? Doesn't everywhere the so-called white man go, he weakens their economy? Right? Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will also sit upon the mount of congregation in the sides of the north. All right. He's in North America, Babylon the Great. That's where he rides. All right. The seven heads, which is the seven kingdoms. All right. That was ruled by Esau, Edom. All right. That beast. All right. Being this Roman, revived Roman Empire. All right. And that's what's the name? That seven heads had what was it, 10 horns, which is that European economic, what was it, the EEC. I'll have to look it up real quick. All right, but basically it turned into the EU, the European Union. Okay, right, but the point right here, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. All right, no, this is the point. Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. So notice, Esau, Edom, right, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, wants to be like the Most High. Doesn't Yahweh have his own people, Israel, the Israelites, Yasharallah? Therefore, so the devil has his own people, Esau, Edom, the spiritual demon Satan. Right? Yahweh has a law, right? Satan has a law. And the main statute is what? Do as thou shalt will. Do as thou will. All right? Whatever you want. No rules, no regulations. All right? So the point, all right. Well, we're gonna finish because we'll get to what's the name. The point is in 16, but verse 15 says, "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the sides of the pit." Right, right. So 13, verse 9 and 10. All right. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword shall die by the sword. This is the faith and the patience of the saints. Who are the saints? The Israelites. So they put us into slavery. They're going into slavery. And slavery is going to be hell for them. 1,000 years of hell, slavery, and according to the Obadiah 118, all right, eradicated from off the earth. All right. Verse 16, the point. They that see thee, who's thee? All right, Lucifer, right, Esau, Edom, shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? All right, so it's not no angel, it wasn't no fight in heaven and Yahweh kicked them out. All right, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble and that did shake kingdoms? All right. So right here, we know, according to the Bible, Esau Edom is the devil that this Bible speaks of, that old serpent, the dragon, Lucifer, Satan. Okay, because he's a man. Okay, so now that we have made the point that he wants to be like the Most High has a law, the Torah or the Torah. All right, the book of the 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, correct? So watch this. Ordinances for the people. The people, who are people? Yasharala, the Israelites. All right. So he told unto Moses, now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, slavery is in the Bible, all right? Employee just means slave. Look it up. Look up the etymology of the word. All right. But we was only supposed to have a Hebrew servant for 6 years, and on the seventh, he's free, so he comes by us. Verse 3: if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then and my children, here's the point, and all serve him. See? So Esau Edom is trying to use the scriptures on the left hand side to make all right, everybody calls it all to be at serve him because he thinks he's a master, right? Which is Edomite supremacy, the slave master, to serve him forever. And instead of boring your ear, all right, he's gonna bore in your forehead or in your right hand, all right, with an awl. Now we're gonna look up that word awl, and might as well look up the word bore too. Right, so the word bore is ratazai, 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 right? And it means to pierce, pierce, all right, of the ear, all right? And didn't we, yo, you can't make this shit up, son. Didn't we just see graven, right, in charagma and stigma? Now let's look up the word all. So all is maratazai, or martazai, or maratazai, right? And it means a boring instrument or a piercing instrument, right? Because bore is the same thing as pierce, all right? So doesn't a syringe pierce you? Okay, and that syringe is going to have that RFID charagma, that computer social tracking chip system, all right? That's going to take away all your freedoms, man. And we basically about to close out on this. Okay? Let's get it. I already brought that out. So let's go to Revelation 14:2, and then we're gonna conclude. Nah, not 14:2, 14:12. Doom for worshippers of the beast. All right. So if you loving this America, Babylonian, Roman system that you got going on, ask anybody, man. The capital, everything, all of the buildings, state capitals is all Roman structures, man. Greco-Roman structures. All right. So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, right, the ancient revived Roman Empire, and his image, the military and political system, this jump shot, all right, uh, 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 what else to call this yob, the stab and jab is part of the image, man, because it's part of their system, right? Don't you have to do certain things in order to be a part of it? So those who take it is worshiping his image, man, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. All right, we just explained what that is. The same shall drink of the wine, all right, of the wrath of the Most High. Now, wine, referring to the scriptures, all right, is a philosophy, all right. So when he's saying that they're the ones that take it is going to drink of it, all right, according to the scriptures, the doctrine of the wrath of the Most High is those intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right, so you're going to drink it, meaning you're going to consume it, or it shall consume you. Doesn't it say in Zechariah that the plague, because it is a plague, all right, it's that their flesh shall be consumed from off their while they stand on their feet. All right. So the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture. Yeah, you're gonna get a straight shot. No, 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 not on the rocks. Straight into the cup of this indignation. Indignation means righteous anger, because it is a righteous thing for those, all right, that take the yob, all right, that want to stay in Babylon, America, that take, all right, what's the name, the Bismarcky, right? And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Yeah, that's sulfur that is created through that chemical reaction, all right, of that thermonuclear fire, man. It is going to be a great torment, man. In the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Yeah, while them chariots, all right, and Yahweh Shah, this is going to be looking down, all right. Also, with the elect, all right, because we're going to be standing on top of the sea of glass. Yahweh Ratazah, part of that number, all right. So just to finish it out, this is give you a nice understanding, all right. look, look, you type in this, right, and look what they got. Yo, you can't make this. Look, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't make it up. You see that? See that? You see that? What does this say? An RFID chip implanted into your hand. That's Forbes.com. Look, employees offered the RFID. All right. What is this approved witch or warlock doing? Using a syringe to prick, right? To bore, to pierce your skin, which will leave a mark into your right hand. Notice that's his right hand. Look, my thumb right here. You see? Come on, man. Can't make this shit up, man. All right. So, Lord willing, I was edifying to the elect. If you are new in this truth, do not watch or follow any camp that is not teaching this is the MOTB. Okay? Don't do it. Learn from the apostles and elders and great millstone and the like camps that teach the same doctrine. All right? Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahushua, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahushua, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahushua, Basham Kakadash, Kal Halal Yam La Yahweh, Basham Yahushua, Basham Kakadash. All right, double honors to the apostle elders of great millstone who rule well, peace and salutations, and to the hopeful elect. All right, keep the faith, stand stiffly for Yahweh, Basham Yahushua. We almost out of here, man. We at the end of this thing. Ship about to hit the fan. Gird up your loins like a man. And with that, I say shalom.